Good morning, students. In yesterday's class, we have studied about means of spread, that is through air, water, sexual contacts, and by vectors. Now, disease causing microbes enter the body through these different means. Now, where do they go then? The body is very large when compared to the microbes, isn't it? So, there are many possible places, organs, or tissues where they could go. Now, question arises, do all microbes go to the same tissue or organ, or do they go to the different ones? Different species of microbes seems to have evolved to home in on different parts of the body. They all select their home where they have to reach in our body. In part, this selection is connected to their point of entry. If this selection is connected to their point of entry. If they enter from the air via the nose, then they would likely to go to the lungs. Definitely they will reach the lungs. Then this is seen in the bacteria causing tuberculosis. Now if they enter through the mouth, they can stay in the gut lining like typhoid causing bacteria, or they can go to the liver like the virus that cause jaundice. But this is not always the case. The point of entry will decide the part of infection. So there is something different also, like an infection like HIV that comes into the body via the sexual organs. Now, this will spread to lymph nodes all over the body. Similarly, malaria causing microbes entering through a mosquito bite will go to the liver and then to the red blood cells. So it similarly some diseases caused like brain fever, which is caused by mosquito bite, it goes to the infect the brain. Now the signs and symptoms of a disease will thus depends on the tissue or organ which the microbe targets. Why it depends on the organ which the microbe targets? Because that function has been affected and that will show the symptom. If the lungs are the targets, then symptoms will be cough and breathlessness, because lungs are related with these two functions. Similarly, if the liver is targeted, there will be jaundice. Okay. If the lungs are if the liver will be targeted, there will be jaundice. If the brain is the target, we will observe headaches, vomiting, fits, or unconsciousness. We can imagine what the symptoms and signs of an infection will be if we know what the target tissue or organ is and the functions that are carried by this tissue or organs. Because by getting infected by the microbes, the function of those organs and tissues get affected, and by affected by those microbes, the symptoms will be shown. In addition to these tissue specific effects or infectious diseases, there will be other common effects too. These are the specific effects, but there are some common effects also. Previously, you have studied about inflammation. What was inflammation? Recruitment of cells in the microbe affected organs or tissues. So, most of these common effects depends on the fact that the body's immune system is activated in response to infection. An active immune system recruits many cells in the affected tissue to kill off the disease causing microbes. And this recruitment process is called inflammation, as you all are knowing. Now, as a part of this process, there are local effects which are common symptoms. There are local effects which are common symptoms, that is swelling, pain, fever. So, these are general symptoms in addition to particular symptoms. In some cases, the tissue specificity of the infection leads to very general seeming effects. For example, in HIV infection, the virus goes to the immune system and damages its function. Thus, many of the effects of HIV/AIDS are because the body can no longer fight off the many minor infections that we face every day. Instead, very small cold can become pneumonia because our immune system is totally destroyed when we get affected by HIV/AIDS. Similarly, a minor gut infection can produce major diarrhea with blood loss. Ultimately, it is these other infections that kill people suffering from HIV/AIDS because immune system is of no use in HIV suffering people. Now, it is also important to remember that severity of the disease manifestation depends on the number of microbes in the body. If the number of microbes is very large, the disease manifestations will maybe minor, maybe major. If the number of microbes are very large, then disease manifestation will be major. But if the number is less, then disease manifestation may be minor or unnoticed. Now, immune system is a major factor that determines the number of microbes surviving in the body. If immune system is strong, then disease causing microbes will no longer survive in the body. If immune system is weak, then disease causing microbes will survive in larger number in our body.